So I want to welcome everyone this morning to our PAC and Sports Camp Showcase. We're so excited for this show, and I just wanted to tell you just a little bit. The vision for the Performing Arts Camp was to provide a camp that we could bring in highly artistic campers along with professional and accomplished artists that are spiritual and part of our congregations to be able to mentor and work with all the campers. So it's just been a phenomenal week of campers working with instructors. And then, with the success of the PAC camp, it just naturally opened the door to include and add a new track, being our sports camp track. And so what that did was that just created an arts, media, sports week. So I want to introduce myself. I'm Bruce, and this is my beautiful wife, Linda Newspot. We direct the PAC camp, and then also the sports camp directors are Aaron and Aisha Jackson. So it's been a great week. So with that said, let the show begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sherry Simpson People, and I will be your MC for today, which means that if there's any technical difficulties, I will be filling. So look at some dad jokes, and we'll have some dad jokes if there's any technical.
Dad jokes!
We're going to start out with our musical theater kids with our revolutionary theme. How could we not open with a number from heaven? Please welcome our musical theater track as they inspire a generation to rise up and not throw away my shot.
I am not throwing away my
ahead of me? If I see it coming, do I run or do I let it be? Is it like a beat without a melody? See, I never thought I'd live past 20. Where I come from, some get half as many. Ask anybody why we live in fast, and we laugh, reach for a blast. We have to make this moment last. That's funny, scratch that. This is not a moment, it's a movement. We're all hungry, running for something to prove when those oppose us. We take it on a stand, we roll like Moses, claiming our promised land. And if we win our independence, let us guarantee us freedom for our descendants. Oh, the blood we shed, we get an endless cycle of vengeance with death, with no defendants. I know the action in the streets, the sight of Jesus beating on the bleeding and fighting. I've been reading and writing. We have to handle our financial situation. Are we a nation to save? What's the state of our nation? A past patiently waiting, a passion, new passion, every expectation, every action that I can create. I'm not reading the basic code, and so the first song in your past tomorrow.
Without the amazing instructors, this camp could not happen. So what I wanted to do is have all the instructors come up onto stage. All the amazing instructors. And we're going to have the instructors introduce themselves to you because mentoring is a big part of what we do here in our program. We want you to know who they are, who worked with your children as they were here. So they're going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what was done in the track this week. We'll start over here.
My name is Chase McIntosh. This is my amazing wife, Sarah McIntosh. And this is our baby on the way, unnamed at this point. This is also Zachary Dietrich. We are the musical theater instructors, and we had an amazing time with the musical theater students this week. We got to teach them a little bit about music theory, a little bit about sight singing. Zachary led us in that. We showed them just what it really means to tell a story. And we were so blown away just at the talent that God has given them, the gifts, and how they embraced every challenge and grew tremendously. It's been amazing.
Hi, my name is John Castleman, and I have the wonderful pleasure to work with your amazing campers. And this is my amazing friend, Paulette Spradlin.
We're so happy that you're here today. Working with the songwriting and recording track was a blast. We were able to get the kids in 2 days to make a collaborative effort to put together an original song with obviously original lyrics, and it's put into a video that you'll see today. So we hope to really enjoy that. And also we had the experience of learning about the process of the songwriting and the process of writing music and how that all kind of comes together, and also working as a team. So we really focused on that as well, and we just had a great time, and we really wanted to make sure that we connected with the kids. So we're so happy that you're here and you're able to see some of that.
Hey, I'm Harold Jones, and I did the photography and fine art track. As soon as you walked in, you saw their amazing work, and something that I'm super excited about, that Pat Gamble saw it, and she said, hey, I want to bring these to the donors so they can see what's happening here. So your children's work is being showcased to millionaires, basically. So in addition to that, we had a fantastic week just thinking inside the rectangle, but also to think outside the box, where it's like, hey, look, I've been given this talent. What do I do with it? But because they poured their hearts into it, and because of the drawings and the art that was made, and the way they began to think, they understand. It's like, you know what? To be a revolutionary, you've already kind of started there, so it's okay to be me, but I'm going to return what God gave me to Him. Amen?
Hey guys, I'm Sherry Simpson-Caitlin, and I'm headed up the screenwriting track. And four amazing screenwriters in our fantastic air-conditioned screenwriting room upstairs, the only air-conditioned room on the whole campus. Screenwriting is a tough thing to show in performance because the finished product is on the page. So I'm going to just tell you what we worked on this week, which was character description, character development over the arc of a film, dialogue, less is more, the difference between writing for film and writing for television, big difference, and writing with a partner. So what you're going to see is two films today, two very short, brief films with not a lot of like great technical shots or anything, but it's all about the dialogue and the character. Thanks.
What we do is we teach them the whole process of cinematography. And this is my partner, Susanna McCarthy.
Okay, so what we did this year is we had eight kids, some of them returning. We always have 3 staff. Carla has a background in film, news and producing, and I'm behind the scenes on major motion pictures and television. We had 3 staff as usual. We also had 3 counselors this year who were filmmakers or in film school, so we had 8 students and 6 instructors, so we went deep. It was amazing. So they learned the concept, from concept to script to how to shoot it, less is more. It's visual storytelling, not so much talking. Last year we introduced editing software, which opened up a whole new realm for them, brought in IMAX, and we're hoping next year to find a way to rent more of the high-end equipment, right? I'm not an editor. In order for them to really even go further, but they edited everything. You're going to see 3 films today. They worked collaboratively. They learned a lot, and they really have to be within a short time frame. And so what you see is they've really, really grown, and we're really proud of what they've done.
My name is Beth Brewster, and this is my daughter Mackenzie Brewster. Track this year. And this year we really focused on really helping our kids understand that God has already made them inherently interesting, that they don't have to look outside of themselves to find a good story, that they already have good stories within them. And so this week we focused on, well, how do I take that story and create something that I can perform and present to other people. So we worked on a lot of storytelling skills, how to tell your story with your words, but also how to tell your story with your body, and then how to tell your story with others. So they did a great job. They all grew so much, and I can't wait for you to see what they've done. Thank you.
So my name is Aaron Jackson, and my wife Aisha and I, the Jackson household is and not just an artistic, household with my wife singing, but it's an athlete household as well. So I'm going to turn it over to our sports instructors and let them introduce themselves to you as well.
Hey guys, my name is Gabe Baker. I'm from Houston, Texas. I had the pleasure of being one of the sports instructors this week. This is my second year doing it, I guess, yeah, and my background, I was a collegiate football player, and this week was really great. I got to be a part of just, obviously, all the many activities and sports and games we played. From my experience as a football collegiate player, being able to take them through a footwork clinic and just being out there to extend some of the skills that I've learned to help guide and
help all the sports campers learn a little bit of what has helped me be successful as an athlete. It was just a lot of fun. So the sports campers did an awesome job, and it was a great time to spend. So thanks.
Completed 2 Ironmans. I did a swim clinic here, and I just want to say that myself and Maddie worked the sports camp this week, and I just want to say that our main goal was fun and empowering women and girls to be strong, powerful, godly, sporty women.
And disciple part of the campus ministry in Richmond. And it was really cool. I got to come and kind of share my story with the sports campers and then go through a running clinic and talk about form and recovery and just stuff like that that you can use in track and other sports too. So it was really fun being with the sports campers and yeah, thanks.
Major League ball player, personal trainer. I just kind of helped out with putting together some of the core workouts for our athletes. And it was a blast. I'm actually wore out from all the activities. So I haven't worked this hard since playing. So if you see us a little fatigued, that's right. That's what's happening. Anyway, thanks a lot.
A long time ago. So I was able to come this week just for to do a short clinic with the kids on Tuesday afternoon to tell a little bit about my story. And what we talked about was how some of the character and things that you get to learn through athletics, like teamwork, being a part of a team, being coachable, all those things, how they transition into being a disciple as well as just in life in general. So it was really cool to help them to make that connection as I shared my story. And then we got on the field, and I was able to help them a little bit with passing and catching and throwing and shooting, some defensive drills. And so I think we had a lot of fun. It was really cool to spend that time. I certainly will be back next year. But the greatest thing that I heard was a couple of boys saying, hey, I think when I go back to school, I'm going to try lacrosse. So.
Olympic Committee and international medalist. And what we covered this week in our track was 2 things. The first was the mental preparation. And I think that a lot of times psychologically we can beat ourselves up and we can go into a competition and we can just lose right before we step into starting the event. And so we talked a little bit about that. And then we got hands-on and I taught a little karate. So, I think it was a great time, and hopefully the kids will continue both the mind and the body aspect of sport.
And I just wanted to say a special thank you to our WNBA sister who plays for the Dallas Wings, Azrae Stevens. She really wanted to be here. She was planning on coming here all the way up until a couple of days before. And then she got called back to Dallas. She had to be back with the team. But she sent a little video with her testimony. So I wanted to say a special thank you to her. But with that, let's continue the show.
And now we're going to see a film, our first from our film track. This is a film called Ashes by Tabitha Burgum, Elizabeth Asano, and Kathy Jeffers.
Where's Kate? I came here to see her, not you. I need to see her. How can you just stand there when you took her from me? From my family? You know how many lives you took? You're monsters. Kate didn't deserve to die after you set that stupid fire. You monster.
I'm sorry. You're hurting too. I just want her back.
That was sad and scary.
In the beginning, in a galaxy far, far away, once upon a time, we hear these words and prepare for takeoff. In a moment, we will be transported into a new world, one crafted by brilliant creative minds. We asked our campers to explore their childhoods. You're about to see a collection of memories, the good, the bad, the funny, the embarrassing, and the heartwarming. This performance piece has taught our students how to open up their lives to one another, how to journey through the creative process, how to work as an ensemble, and how to meld their stories into a cohesive work. We're so proud of these brave performers for making their individual voices heard and telling their own stories. Many artists think they have to look outside of themselves to find great stories. We as an ensemble hope that you will recognize that you already have a story to tell. We all have a story to tell. It's the snapshots of our lives, the little everyday moments that make for great stories.
I was in Mrs. Pfeiffer's kindergarten class. Every afternoon we had snack time, and every afternoon I had the same old boring snack. But one particular day, 5-year-old me was extremely excited because my mom had gotten me a new snack, Nutter Butter cookies. Now, I had a best friend in class. His name was Dylan, and even though he could be a bit of a bully and really mean, I really liked him because he had blonde hair, was funny, and told silly jokes. So Dylan sees me with my new special snack and asks, "Hey, is there peanut butter in those things? Because I can't have peanuts. I'm highly allergic to them." And 5-year-old Miss Know-It-All Me said, "No, there's no peanut butter in Nutter Butter cookies." Dylan asked, "Are you sure?" And then Dylan starts not feeling well. And the next thing I know, he's yelling for Mrs. Pfeiffer, and the whole class is laughing at me and calling me dumb. And then Mrs. Pfeiffer, who I used to think looked like a sweet little pixie, is yelling at me, "Vanessa, you can't have Nutter Butter peanut butter cookies in this classroom. What have you done?" I began sobbing. I was so embarrassed. And even though Dylan was okay, I was banished to a corner of the classroom where I had to sit alone with no Nutter Butters. And I'm sad to say that's the day Dylan and I parted ways. Well, as much as you can in kindergarten. And I never, ever ate Nutter Butter peanut butter sandwich cookies in class ever again. Have another Nutter Butter peanut butter sandwich cookie.
thing I received in the mail. So I was 7 years old, and I walked down to the mailbox like I usually do every day after school. And this time the mail hadn't come yet, but I went anyway. So I opened the mailbox, and when I did, I found an unopened box of cigarettes. Now, I didn't know exactly what to do with these cigarettes. I was 7 years old, and I lived in this quiet, nice, suburban neighborhood, not the place you'd find cigarettes lying around. So, I also remember feeling excited. I mean, cigarettes are pretty expensive. This would make a good gift. Then I remember my aunt. And my aunt and I are what I like to call Christmas close. We only saw each other on Christmas. So, I take the cigarettes, run inside and find my mom. Hey Mom, look what I found. I found cigarettes. Doesn't our aunt smoke? Can we give them to her, please? Now, I don't think my mom was as enthusiastic about my idea as I was, because she started yelling at me, and where did I find these cigarettes? And did I know that they were bad for me? And no, we were not going to give these cigarettes to your aunt. I never did tell my aunt. I mean, I wish I had. I probably will. Maybe next Christmas. But she's trying to quit smoking. At least last Christmas she was.
This is my story of the most memorable thing I ever received in the mail. When I was in 2nd grade, I found out I was moving towns. My family and I would be moving from my small town to a much bigger town. And then I would be moving my schools from this way small school to a way, way bigger school. I'd only told one of my friends and my teacher, Miss G. Her full name was actually Miss Googly Eyes. A couple of weeks after I moved into my new home, an envelope arrived addressed to me, a letter from Miss G. I felt so encouraged that she was kind enough to write me a letter telling me I was going to be fine in the new environment I was going into. It made me feel so happy to read the words she wrote. And with that letter, it made me feel confident walking into the classroom in school soon. And if I hadn't received that letter, I probably wouldn't have met the friends I still have today. Friends like Sophie. Woo! And she leaves me hanging and lets me go on, alone, in the hallway, in front of everyone. So I think maybe she doesn't realize it's me. Okay. So when I get home, I say, hey Maddie, want to do our handshake? And she says, sure. So the next day at school, I see Maddie in the hallway, and I say, hey Maddie, and she says, hey Sophie. So I know she knows it's me. So we start to do our handshake, and some of Maddie's friends walk by, and suddenly she stops and walks away. Oh, I get it. At home, you know me. At school, you don't. Aww.
Songwriting and recording track. hang on. Oh, joke time, okay. Well, we're figuring this out. Night visit at the Raymond House, okay. My wife is really mad at the fact that I have no sense of direction. So I packed up and right. Packed up and right. Instead of packed up and left. Okay, we're looking for the film. No, it's the... I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I was tripping all day. So I know this is going to be the most exciting part of the whole Yes, we found it? Okay, let me hang on. Are we good? Okay, so I'm going to read remember I told you in the screenwriting track, we're going to see our first clip from the screenwriting track. We worked on character description and character development. And so character description in a script, you have to know who the character is on the page in like 1 or 2 lines before they show up. So here we have in a short clip called The Night Visit to the Raymond House. We have Kathy Raymond, 19, gleeful anarchist, lives with her parents for the free food and complains about the brands. Anne McKean, 40, a polite and sensitive thief who honors the integrity of his profession. This is Night Visit at the Raymond House. By Molly Cabot and Gabriel Hudson.
Coming.
Sorry to intrude you at this late hour, but by any chance are you the owner of this apartment?
No, my parents are, but I basically own the place.
Oh. So, I was referred by a friend to meet the therapist, Julia Raymond. Is she home?
No, but you can come in and wait.
That's a very nice sculpture you have there.
Tiffany's. You want it? Keep it. It'll pay for at least half my mom's fee.
You must be mistaken. This sculpture must cost a fortune. There's no way your mother would allow you to just hand it over.
Oh, please. She makes enough money anyway. Besides, anything I can do to tick her off is an added bonus. You want a credit card? Her pin's 0579.
Well, this is no fun.
What do you mean?
The truth is, I'm not associated with your mother in any way. I actually came here to rob your apartment, but you just handing me everything, it's just not a challenge.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say so? Tell you what. We'll do it like a game of hide and go seek. I'll cover my eyes and count to 100. You can take anything you want.
That just won't do. You already know I'm here to steal. You not looking at me while I do it won't change that fact.
Right. That is tricky. What should we do? Well, how about I throw some of my dad's beer cans everywhere and just head a party and crash the place?
With who?
Right, I don't have any friends. I'm suspicious. I've got it. The folks next door on vacation, they make almost as much money as we do. It's perfect.
Fine. But don't tell anyone about me being here.
Of course.
Well then, thank you for the opportunity to let me rob your next door neighbors.
Anytime. Hey! Missing something?
Hey, that's mine.
Not even genuine leather.
Now we're going to see our second acting group. Yes, come on up. And their storytelling.
When I was 6 and my sister was 4, I had a snow globe. It was my most precious possession. It was like a unicorn rocking horse with flowers, and it was sparkly when you shook it. It was my most favorite thing ever. And I told my sister never to touch it because it was made of glass and I didn't trust her. That was one of my rules with my sister. Don't touch my stuff. But one day I walk into my room and there she is playing with it. I tell her, stop, you're going to break it, but she doesn't stop. And the next thing I know, she drops it. And it shattered glass everywhere. The next thing I know, blood everywhere. She cut her foot deeply. It was gross. I ran downstairs and got my Grandma Carrie and my parents to come help. And they scooped her up and wrapped up her foot in my t-shirt. Then they drive her to the emergency room and they glued her big toe back together. She even got a big yellow sticker for being so good. It said, "You're cool," and for whatever reason, she stuck it on the dryer when she got home. It's still there to this day. My snow globe is gone, but the sticker is still there.
So once upon a time in 6th grade, I was a lot shorter, really insecure, really nervous, and almost always in my head about everything. Well, we had this really weird principal named Mr. Califano who loved to encourage us and be the cool principal. He'd call us his beautifuls and his angels, even though most of us were far from angels. When we were leaving school, he liked to stand outside and be like, "Hey," and give us fist bumps as we crossed the crosswalk. So one day, I was crossing the crosswalk, sort of in my own little world, not really paying attention to him or anyone for that matter, when Mr. Califano goes and does his usual and says, "Goodbye, my angel," and holds up his hand to give me a good solid fist bump. Instead of returning the gesture, because I was still in my head and not really paying attention, I walked up straight into his fist and got a nice punch in the face. At least I learned some good advice. Always pay attention while crossing the street, or you might get punched by the principal.
Springtime maybe, and I had just gotten out of Mrs. Flynn's social studies class. The most boring class that I had. I couldn't wait to go home. So I was running down the school stairs. Now you need to understand something. My younger brother Garrett and I always used to jump down the stairs, like all the time. We'd make it into like little competitions. We'd jump down 4, 6, 10, 12 stairs. But I would always win. Always. I was the stair jumping champion. Thank you. Thank you. Hey. Now anyway, I'm running down the stairs at school and I decide to jump. But then, on the third to last step, something happens. I end up falling on the ground, landing on my ankle, twisting it and turning it. It hurt so bad. But everyone standing around me was staring at me saying, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" I'm trying not to laugh. So I got up and said, "It's fine, I'm okay, it's okay." and tried not to limp to the bus stop. And then on the bus, I called my dad. I was trying to be quiet because my friends were right there. I was trying not to cry because it hurt so much. I was trying to tell my dad, Dad, can you please come pick me up? My ankle really hurts and I can't really walk. Turns out I sprained my ankle really bad. So bad I couldn't go to school for several days. And I had to wear a boot. Now let me tell you people something. Don't jump down the stairs. I mean, I still do sometimes. Oh, and this? That's a story for another time.
Now we're going to see the first piece from our wonderful dance track. This is No Way, choreographed by the amazing Paul Sandler. Did you see how they just kept going? They just kept going. We love that. That's a good attitude there. Okay, now it's going to be our second piece for our musical theater kids. Every revolution needs a dream. Through adversity and hardship, and when we grow weary, our dream is our refuge. This is our musical theater track performing from the musical Waitress, A Soft Place to Land. Our next piece is a film from the film track.
Yeah!
This is called The Handshake. The wonderful Max Strummer.
Hey, what's wrong, dude? Well, you made quite the entrance. Come on, man. We're friends.
I'll give you my canteen.
All right. I'll tell you. But you gotta promise not to tell anyone. Hello, man. What was that? Oh, sorry. Let's try that again.
So all you're upset about is that you messed up a handshake?
It's his fault, not mine.
Dude, let's just go and settle this with him tomorrow.
So I was going up to this guy on the court, and I was just...
Hey. So, can we talk to you for a second?
I'm in the middle of something.
Well, it'll be quick, I promise. Please?
Alright, fine. I'll be right back.
So what's up?
Here's the thing. So, I guess this might sound kind of weird, but,
You messed up my handshake.
So, why don't you two try it again? Nice, there we go.
A few inches later.
Well, this week for sports camp has really been an incredible week. I can't underscore this enough. Although I have this vacation shirt on, this week has absolutely not been a vacation. It's been fantastic. So much so that we had these beginning assessments at the beginning of the week. It was awesome. We were fired up. And then by the end of the week, we were like, yeah, about those. We don't need to finish those out. I think we're good. We were all wore out. But let me just say that your kids have been an absolute joy to be around. Their hearts, their competitive nature. This camp has really been incredible, and it's because of incredible campers, because of incredible instructors, and also because of incredible counselors. So let me have all the sports camp counselors stand up. And also, this week really couldn't have been pulled off and me still stay sane without Keenan Mitchell. I'm going to turn it over to Keenan. He's going to talk about our little sports tournament here.
Might sleep for another week when they get home because they're going to be feeling it. And we had a really fun tournament that we did yesterday. Throughout the week we had these morning workouts, and so they were training. They were doing push-ups, they were doing sit-ups, they were doing some lunges, they were doing laps around the whole camp. I mean, it was all over the place. They're in the pool doing laps. So they can do some extra dinner tonight when they get home. Just saying, there's some Chick-fil-A down the street. So I want to announce the winners of this year's 2019 Sports Camp Tournament. Let's hear it. Come on, here we go. So we have, so for the boys, I want you guys, we have some prizes for you. So we're going to do third place first, okay? So if I call your name, you can come up. And I don't know if we got a drum roll track over here. Maybe we do, maybe not. Okay, we got a drum roll track. So let's get a drum roll, please. In third place, we have a tie between Bruce Michelle and Bryce McCarthy! You first place for this year's tournament. Let's get a drum roll going. Come on, come on, come on, come on, let's go. We've got the one, the only, Mitch Bender. And it is, let's go drum roll, come on, bring it up, come on, come on, come on, come on. India
from Amazon. I'll let you know. A chicken and an egg. Which one comes Could become the city's best detective if he can only work up the nerve to question suspects without stuttering or crying. Oh, I'm so wrong. I'm completely wrong. Sorry. I misread my thing. It is so not the screenwriting track right now. It is the dance track. With the hip-hop number coming in hot.
Coming in, I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like pop. I should've shot. I'm coming in.
Could become the city's best detective if only he could work up the nerve to question suspects without stuttering or crying. And Isadora Winters, 67, too flamboyant even for the theater, her emotional baggage is equal to the amount of her literal baggage. This is Murder at the Airport Subway by Andrew Nussbaum and Kennedy Brown. Wrong one, sorry. Okay, dad joke, ready? Justice is a dish best served cold. If it were served warm, it would be water. And $3 in the Bahamas. Those are the pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, we need one more. Okay, that's it. We're trying to find the right file. Oh, you got it? All right. Okay, you got it. Here we go. This is Murder at the Airport Subway.
Murder! There's been a murder!
Ma'am, are you gonna pay for that?
You! Detective Pikachu, I need your help!
How did you know I was a detective?
You have a bunch of magnifying glasses and old fedoras falling out of your bag. But that's not the point. There's been a horrifying tragedy. There's been a murder.
Why are you saying murder in a British accent?
I don't know. Oh.
Ma'am, you really have to pay for that.
Quiet, sandwich boy. Go back to your bread line or something.
What type of murder are we discussing here? Was it a child? That would be a bummer. That would suck.
Worse. It was my $5,000 purebred Bichon Frise. Oh, the horror, the agony.
Okay, well, okay.
I could just die. Oh, my little precious $5,000 dog. What a waste of finance. Oh.
Breathe, Alvin, just breathe.
I am breathing, just barely, but...
I wasn't talking to you. Now, where did the murder take place? How did the dog die? Can you give me your testimony?
Okay, well, so I was going for my terminal, and, this gorgeous woman in a fur coat just grabbed my dog and threw him out a window. The horror, the tragedy, the agony. Oh.
Wait a second, can you give me a more detailed description of the suspect in question?
Yes, well, she was gorgeous, and, she was wearing a $5,000 Gucci velours fur coat, and, she had one tooth.
I'm sorry, ma'am. The person you're describing sounds like you.
Are you kidding me? I have more than one tooth. I paid $60,000 for these bad boys. Same dentist as Joe Biden. Rest in peace.
I'm sorry, it sounds like you killed your dog.
He wasn't killed. He was murdered. Oh. This is too much.
Ma'am, you really need to pay for that.
I'm grieving.
That's it. I'm calling airport security.
The police? What? No, fine, I confess. I did it. I chucked my dog out the window. I killed my $5,000 Bichon Frise after taking out life insurance policy on him. I murdered him.
You're under arrest for murder. Sorry.
As you can tell, it was a fun meeting in the screenwriting room. This is our third acting piece. Here they come.
Dark sense of humor. I remember when I was 4 years old, I used to make my mom reenact the death of Bambi's mom. Oh, Bambi! Run to a thicket, Bambi! Run! I can't keep up! I can't keep up with you! Thank you. So, my grandparents, I call them Wowo and Yaya. They travel to a lot of different countries, and not every continent in this world is normal, okay? So, my mother wanted them to get me a picture book so I could have something to read and to grow up with. They were in Australia, and they were like, hey, we'll get this one for Rosie. And when I got it, I was so happy. I mean, it was a picture book about a baby kangaroo, which is called a joey. And I loved it so much. I grew up with it, and I read it. But the part I really remember, though, my favorite part is when the joey gets lost in the city. The mom goes looking for it, and the mom gets run over by a car. Now, I'm not sure if the mom died or maybe she got picked up by some kids, but I know that I enjoyed it, and I have a dark sense of humor, okay? Just leave me alone. Regardless, it was still one of my favorite stories, and I'll never forget anything about it, especially the kangaroo print blanket and pillow that came with it.
I was going through some old clothes in the basement when I found this really nice pair of black pants. Now, I don't know how old they were, and I don't have the best sense of smell, but I caught a slight hint of mothballs. So, the next day, I decided to wear the pants to school. Everything's going good, the pants are working out fine, until Mr. Dillon's geometry class. And I dropped a playing card. I leaned down to pick it up, and I immediately, jumping up, my hand flies into the air and asks, "Mr. Dillon, may I use the restroom?" So, I go. There's a line in the restroom with tons of people with non-ripped pants. And I'm just standing there hoping nobody realizes the side of my pants are completely split. So, fortunately, I had my black jacket. Now, I tend to keep random, interesting items in the pockets, such as pliers, toothpicks, salt taffies, and fortunately this time, safety pins. So when I finally get a stall, clever me decides, I know, I'll put the pins on the inside, facing inwards, towards me. So nobody sees the needles. And nobody did. So, I go back to class, I start to sit down, and I immediately jump back up. Oh no! I made a horrible mistake. It's gone terribly wrong. The needles I had so cleverly put facing towards myself were now stabbing me deeply in the leg. I'm happy to report the blood loss was minor. The pants have been retired, and I still keep interesting items in my pocket because you never know.
We're exactly 7 years apart, but we only get to see each other a couple times a year because I live in Ohio and she lived in Minnesota. It was really tough being the only girls around and seeing each other so little. And because I was only 8 years old and phoneless, Sarah had an idea. What if we sent each other letters? I think she just wanted to be encouraging. But my little 8-year-old self would run down to the mailbox whenever I would find a letter, I would run back and up the stairs feeling all excited and inspired and encouraged. I remember how special I felt opening the envelope. It was that kind of paper that you write on, and the paper then turns into the envelope, so it's all in one piece. Sarah would write and tell me everything going on in her life, and I would write back, catching her up on everything going on in my life. And we kept it up for a pretty long time. But what's crazy to me is years later, I now have another girl cousin named Eileen. She's exactly 7 years apart, and she's now the same age that I was when Sarah first started sending me letters. Those letters meant so much to me in the moment, and I never really noticed how much getting them shaped my life in the way they did until looking back on it now. But they really did. And with this new perspective, I've decided that I want to go around and send letters to Eileen to encourage her. And I'm really excited to pass on this family tradition.
Now we're going to see our third and last film from the film track. This is called PAC-Office by Miguel Caitlin and Justin Manassi.
to the film track. I love the film track. It is the sanctuary of performing arts camp, or PAC, what you call it. We have such a great team and such a great boss. I think that sums it up. I feel like I'm a very relaxed and chill boss.
And action. Cue fire. And let there be light.
That's what God said. Get it? Let there be light? You get it, right? Sorry, it's... I forgot to get it.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, Jan, why are you here?
Michael, I need to talk
Blah,
to you.
blah, blah.
Michael,
Over. Get to work. Okay, you're
Michael, I
done.
need to talk to
Goodbye.
you.
Oh, God! I
Michael,
don't
the
like-
film track is being shut down.
This is so
This
stupid.
is stupid.
I don't get it. Like, why?
They
why
should've
would they
shut
ju-
down acting.
Exactly.
Acting
Like,
sucks.
what's so wrong
Like,
with the
what
film
is
track? It
wrong
doesn't make
with
any
this?
sense. We're always being.
Why are we
we're
getting
always-
shut down? What did
we're
we
so
do wrong?
creative. It doesn't make
Like, I
any
mean,
sense.
we
Like,
don't
we
do
have
what?
such a
But,
great
like,
boss
come
and the
on.
employees.
We have
And so, Jan is so
such a
stupid.
great
Why would you do this?
office.
Oh, it doesn't
Like,
make
come
any
on.
sense. Like,
Doesn't
we're
make
always
sense.
the best working
Exactly.
team where it doesn't. Oh,
Sucks.
why are we even being shut down?
Well, maybe it's because you guys never do work. I mean, I do work. And I do guys. Maybe that's why.
Jim, what?
Michael, maybe, and I hate to say this, but maybe Jim is right. We never do work.
Never do work? Never do work? Alright, we need to show those people that we do work. We need to make a film. We need to make the best gosh darn film out there that is going to blow their minds. Alright, I need ideas. Give them. What is that?
That's funny. Hey!
It's perfect. Area 51. It's all the hype these days. We need to make a film on Area 51. Alright guys, let's do this. Pam, start storyboarding. Jim, I need a script and I need it now. And Dwight, you're with me. It's classified, man.
I think this is where they're hiding aliens. Alright. I count. 1, 2, 3, go!
The movie wasn't that bad.
I'm proud of what I created.
That's what God said! Ah! That's my joke!
Our last live number will be by the musical theater track. So as we close out today, we head back to reality, to our normal everyday life. We cannot let our revolutionary spirit fade. Our campers have learned so much, been inspired, and have given a ton. Oh, we're on the ton, sorry about that. Don't stop growing. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop believing. revolution.
Stumbling on memories we thought we had to keep. We stand on the seashore, get dragged into the deep. The voices that feed us, we can't leave them behind. You tell me I'm not enough, and it's playing with my mind. Revolutionary, changing the world on its own. So extraordinary, we're no longer alone. Revolutionary, changing the world on its own. So extraordinary, we're no longer alone. Here's the only way, His messages to us every day. By His creation we can see that we have found a love that sets us free. Here's the only way, His message lives through us every day. By His creation we can see that we have found a love that sets us free. Love fills the holes of insecurity. Deep in the heart, where vanity can breathe. Grateful and thankful, we lay it at your feet. Your peace and patience, a place of destiny. Revolutionary, changing the world on its own. So extraordinary, we're no longer alone. Revolutionary, changing the world on its own. So extraordinary, we're no longer alone. Here's the only way, His message
This is the life I'll make. I don't need a holiday to make me feel this way. Listen up, take a chance. You can sing, you can dance, you can live like there's no tomorrow. Give it time and you'll find there's a groove, there's a rhyme. Move along and the rest will follow. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine. But here we go now. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine like stars. We shine. Oh yeah, we shine like stars. Oh yeah, we shine like stars.
to Curtis Braithwaite, stayed up till 7 o'clock in the morning putting that video together. Curtis here. Elliot Wilson back here setting up all the sound. Thank you. Franco Rosado backstage here. Franco. It's all been up. Just want to say a big thank you for everybody. And last but not least, I want to say a special thank you to the person that was behind this whole production, directing it, to Paul Sadler. We brought this all together. Okay. So I'd like to have Ryan come up and just share with us about what goes on here at the Forge, formerly Camp Hope for Kids.
Just moved here to camp. It's exciting. It's been a great time. I moved here I was here about 3 months ago, and my wife and family moved here about a month ago, and it has been incredible. What I really learned from camp this week is that our kids are amazing. And to get amazing kids like that as parents, we know that it takes an incredible investment. My daughter was a part of PAC. She was one of the people up here acting. It was great, and I love my girls. It does take an amazing investment, and that's what I've learned about this camp as well. To make this camp function, to make this camp work, to provide an incredible atmosphere for your kids, it takes investment. And I'm not necessarily talking about money investment. What I'm talking about is this place needs some TLC. I was talking to some of the people this week about this facade here, and how amazing it would be so that when you guys come in, we have a new black painting and some different colors up here, and we don't have to put trash bags on the windows to black them out. But we have a cool place where people can come and set up for PAC and sports camp. But those types of things take investment. And I know so many of you are invested in this camp already. Your kids are invested in this camp, right? Give necessarily, although if you have something you think you can give, please. What we're really looking for is for you to know somebody who can give. There's so many programs out there that can help this camp. There's different ways your corporation and companies you work for can help this camp. If you donate, a lot of companies match your donation. Some companies can become special donors, and they can give money to the camp, and they get a full 100% tax write-off back for what they've given to the camp. So there's so many ways that you know people who can help support this camp. There's work weekends that we do throughout the year that you can come and do things like help us fix this facade. We're not going to pay somebody to do that. We got to do that ourselves, which we can do, and it'll be a great, great time. So there's so many ways that you can invest, but I just ask you to be thinking about creative ways how you can help make this camp grow. We're all about growing. And we really want to help this camp grow. As our kids grow, this camp will grow as well. Thanks, guys.
All right, just a couple things in here. I also wanted to say a special thank you. Can I have all the counselors stand up and really quickly? The administrative arm that was with Lynn and I this whole time, to Louise Castleman. She helped so much. So, a couple things yet, we're going to wrap this up. So this week, our theme was revolutionary. We talked about who's the greatest revolutionary of all time. It's Jesus. He made the greatest impact on this world. And so we looked at Jesus all week. How can we train to be like him? So I want to give a charge to all the campers back there. As you go home, be revolutionaries. And the greatest way you can do that is to follow Jesus.
yes, the greatest revolutionary of all time. So, two things yet. As we're checking out here, if any meds need to be picked up, if you can pick them up at the lodge, and cell phones will be picked up at the back here, back in the corner. You see the waving of the hands? If your child checked in a cell phone, it's back there. So meds at the lodge, cell phones there, and last but not least, there was a lot of effort, a lot of equipment, a lot of things brought here. I know everybody just loves to pack up and run. The instructors have been here all week. We can use some help for some brothers or sisters to come help us roll up these dance floors to do some things here. So we would love to have a few volunteers help us with that. So thank you for sending your kids to camp. We love having them and look forward to having them back next year. Love you.